following is a dialogue between Dr. Michele Friend, Assistant Professor of Philosophy, George Washington University, and Dr. Sherry L. Ackerman, author, Dressage in the Fourth Dimension. Doctors Friend and Ackerman are both accomplished equestrians and respected philosophers in their fields. They are longtime friends who have traveled extensively throughout Europe together, riding horses in various types of settings. This dialogue took place in late fall of 2008.
I have just read Dressage in the Fourth Dimension with interest. My immediate critical thought concerns the huge ecological expenditure in keeping a horse nowadays in the first world. I feel that this has to be weighed against the spiritual advantages. What do you think about this?
I am very interested in this question. In my own life, I made several rather sweeping changes in my horse-keeping habits this season that, at least in part, address this concern. I stopped, for example, feeding baled hay, and my horse is only being fed meadow grass that I personally hand-cut with a scythe and wheelbarrow for her. This practice has provided a thread of continuity between the ecological ravages of horsekeeping and spirituality. There is obviously a huge spiritual component in being willing to invest this much time and labor in order to keep a horse. Interestingly, I have noticed a change in her personality during this process. She seems to know that I am participating in her life at a much different level than simply throwing her a flake of hay as I pass by. She has become more bright-minded and alert, and seems to view me more as one of her peers than as an objectified owner.
It sounds as though you do a lot of physical work, but that is what ecological economics is all about. The environmental and psychological payoff should trump any financial payoff.
Yes, it's been a physical hustle, but I do feel that the environmental and psychological payoffs have far outweighed any financial considerations. For example, I have observed that my awareness of little things in the meadow while I'm harvesting the grasses has been heightened. I have found enormous satisfaction in being among the butterflies and the birds. I've also begun to find an inner quietness that is pleasing to the deer who graze there. Initially, when I would enter the meadow, they would run away. My energies were obviously incoherent from their perspectives. Now when I enter the meadow, I purposefully come to what I call the mind of meditation. Very still, quiet, and neutral. And the deer entertain me as though I am one of them. Where has our relationship to the earth gone? It is no wonder that the horses view us with suspicion.
Maybe this alienation is what makes us think we are more civilized, or maybe it simply increases our pathologies and disquiet.
Yes. This summer I bicycled everywhere I went. I felt very, very alive, and time slowed down. Instead of seeing the roadside at 60 miles an hour, I saw it at 7 miles per hour or so. I noticed things, sights, sounds, and smells that I had never noticed before. I began to see things through the eyes of the horse, slower, lower to the ground, and more in their natural environment. It became very obvious to me how separated humans have become from nature. Horses are a bridge between humans and nature. May the healing begin.